All right, welcome back to day 2 of the Self-Identity Blueprint. This is the host. I'm your host with the most, Dr. Mike Favors, and I'm glad to see that you all are getting some feedback from this. I'm getting some messages. I do want to encourage you all to do the homework assignment in terms of writing down your new vision and your new goal or whatnot, because that is going to be important for your growth and your development. It's going to be important for you to make this leap, okay? We believe that the information we have is going to help you produce a new you, because the self-identity and the image thereof is going to help you propel. It's going to help propel you into your next level, okay? So with that being said, let me go ahead and share my screen very quickly here, and we're going to get started. And of course, you know, I just noticed that we are on, and I think I made a mistake, you all. I'm gonna be honest. It's 10 a.m. and not 11 a.m. Eastern, but I was so excited to get this information to you. So I may have jumped the gun, but hey, you know what? It's okay. You all can still come in live and we're going to get started. So once again, welcome to day 2. This is for our Facebook group. We are having the replays posted on the YouTube channel for a little while. So those of you who are watching, take some good notes, and we're going to get into this. So here's something yesterday that I wanted to share with you guys that I forgot to put in. And hey, I'm human, right? So I wanted to make sure we got it today. And that is simply this. Science and psychology have isolated the one prime cause for success or failure in life. And it is the hidden self-image that you have of yourself. So we understand, you all, even from yesterday, that self-image and self-identity is very key to your levels of success. It's key to you achieving your goals and having your desires and disciplines play out, because your self-identity or your self-image gives you pictures of what it is you want to do. And that's why the imagination is so important, because you can take a moment and just picture the successful you. You can take a moment and just picture how you want to see yourself. What would you do? How would it benefit you? What type of value could you have if you 10x'd wherever you are right now? And you're going to hear me say that a few more times today, because my job as a coach, you all, is I gathered all this information from my mentors and my coaches, and I put it together where I can make it simple for you. Because I once heard a quote, I'm going to paraphrase this by, what's his name? Albert Einstein, who says something to this effect: if I can't teach or break down information to where a third grader could understand it, then I don't know the information myself, okay? And so I really took hold to that and grabbed hold to that and said, okay, I'm going to be a bridge builder so I can take some of these intricate things, right? You know, I have a master's degree, I have a doctorate in ministry, and that is one thing that I do. I take complexities and make them simple enough, easy enough, that we can run with it, all right? So with that being said, you all, your self-image is very important. So once again, today we're going to start off by talking about the goal setting. So as always, you know, I'm repetition. We got to do things by repetition. And what I mean by that is, I showed this slide several times yesterday. I'm going to show this slide today with different variations. But today, I want you to take a moment and think about this. What does living a world-class life mean to you? Take a moment, view it in. Once again, to some people, you know, what is freedom is free from bondage, is peace, is tranquility. For me and my family, living a world-class life means that we love to travel, y'all. We love to travel when we want, how we want, for as long as we want, with who we want. And that's what that means. But here's the thing that you got to understand. In order to get to that world-class life, in order to live that lifestyle, which, mind you, you can start doing this today, okay? Right now, immediately. What you have to do, though, ladies and gentlemen, is set this goal. You have to set a goal that will help you achieve what you want to achieve. So what happens then? I want you to look at this picture on the screen and think about you being there where it says you're here. And then think about your goal as being at the top of those stairs. Now, the distance between you and your goal, sometimes for some people, can seem insurmountable. Let me paint a picture for you. Let's just say, for example, you are a wife, have a husband, have 2 or 3 kids, and you had to put your dreams on hold to take care of the family. And it's a good family, got a good husband, good life. But you're getting to a point now where the kids are getting older, you're getting older, and now you say, you know what, I may have time to go back to school and finish that degree. I may have time to go and start that business. I may have time to just pursue some of my dreams and visions and goals. But you sometimes don't start because it seems like you're so far behind and the goal is so far away from. Right? Anybody ever felt like that? Single mothers, single fathers, the same thing. We sacrifice a lot, right? But sometimes when it gets to the point to where we can see some time and some space to go after our goals and dreams, they seem so far off. Well, there's a way to get around that, and I'm getting ready to show you right here. So now, when you talk about goals and visions and dreams, you all, it's three things you want to consider. Number one, earning more money. Number two, enjoying more freedom. And number three, living the life of your dreams. Most of the times when we go after our goals, it is that self-satisfying. If your goal is to make more money, then no problem. You can do that because money gives you the ability to express yourself. If you want to learn how to enjoy more freedom, money can help you do that. If you want to live the life of your dreams, you and I both know that it's going to take some money. So we have to just get over the hurdle or the stigma of money. All right. I know the good book says that the love of money is the root of all evil, but we don't love money over here in Team Favors. What we do is we command money and tell money what to do. We are money's master, not the other way around. All right. So it's very important that we understand that. So why more money? As I said earlier, Wallace Waddle said the same thing. The way God made us, you all, is he made us to have an innate ability to want to express ourselves through love and gifts and just things of that nature. One place in the book, The Science of Getting Rich, he says, if a man and woman for that matter, does not do anything to help build their community, their faith, their family, and cannot show expressions, he calls them a derelict, you all. And that is not a good word to be called. So our natural inclination, our natural DNA says we want to be able to express ourselves. Okay, I could take you a whole lot deeper on that, but I'm gonna leave it right there and just ask you this question. Are you able to express yourself, to show love with gifts and, you know, whatever you may want to be? Are you able to do that? Do you have the funds to go and buy your significant other a new car for Christmas, or, you know, just to do a love, take a vacation just because you want to spend some time with your loved ones? See, if you can't do that, because you have so many bills and debt and so many things this way you are, then 10 to 1, that means you're in that rat race of what Robert Kiyosaki calls the employee category, which means you're trading time for money. And we have some things that I'm gonna show you how to get out of that piece, but you definitely don't want to be on that side where you're trading time for money. You want to get your time back, and more money will help you do that, all right? So now, when we talk about the concept of big money, Think and Grow Rich, once again, you all know I've been reading this book for several years. Think and Grow Rich has a section in here about big money and what's supposed to happen when you set your sights on that. And it's not what you think, all right? Big money people have the ability to create their own economy no matter what the regular or governmental economy is doing. That's the concept behind big money. It's not about just hoarding up lots of money and walking around with your fancy cars and all of that. No, big money is having the ability to create economy for you and your environment. Imagine life, how it would be if you could create jobs and employment and help other people create businesses, and you had a network of and you surrounded yourself with A1 workers, A1 business owners, A1 type of people. See, a mentor told me years ago that you are the sum total of the 4 to 5 people that you hang around, which means you shouldn't be the smartest person in the room. You shouldn't be the wealthiest person in the room. But if you surround yourself with A-class people, with world-class people, with those who are what we call essential leaders, you all, then eventually you'll create this mastermind, as you see on the screen here. And all of the thing that these people have in common is conglomerates. You are business moguls, if you will. And so that's the mindset that we want to develop today when we talk about setting your goals. All right, so let's get into it. Remember the screen that I told you. When you put all of those things in place, you all, and you begin to look at your goal and look at your dreams, and it seems that they are so far off. What then happens is we begin to manufacture obstacles. And you can even do this in, I forget the name of it, but you can put a word for each one of these letters. Okay, you can put obsessive failure. You could put, bemoan or belittlement. You can put scarcity. You could put, for T, you could put the lack of growth. You could just do anything and make an acronym, if you will. That's the word. But at the end of the day, you all, the obstacle begins to close doors. That's what I want you to realize and pay attention to in this slide. Because if your desire is to get those goals, and you got a burning desire, remember yesterday, is to get to the goals and get to certain levels of success, you've got to learn how to overcome the obstacles in life, right? The negative talk, the naysayers, the toxic thought, the toxic mindset, you all, the anxiety that comes up when you're facing something that seems like it's insurmountable or insurmountable task. These things that come up, rejection, fear of rejection. You have some people who have all the things in the world, but just don't know what to do. These obstacles, you all, can keep you stagnant. And today we're going to learn how to do that, because Wallace once said this, you all, and I quote, "Desire is the effort of the unexpressed possibility within you attempting to express itself through you in physical form." Now, what does that mean? That basically means there is something inside you, right? There is an image, a goal that was planted in you when you were born. And that thing wants to express itself, and it has a desire to do that. But guess what? It starts in a realm that the physical can't see yet. It starts in the spiritual realm. And when you understand this, you all, here's what begins to happen. Things that you desire, that you picture, that you do, everything we taught you yesterday begins to play out in the manifest form in the physical realm. But it also provides obstacles because of closed doors. Closed doors are obstacles that impede your progress and stops you from getting to higher levels of success. So the question is, how do we get around these obstacles? No matter where you are, if you're on a business and you're an entry-level, person, and you want to go to mid-level management, you're going to face some obstacles. If you are making 10K a month, you want to 10X that to 100K a month, you're going to face some obstacles. So how do we get around these obstacles? What did I do to get around these obstacles? Because I ran into doors like this as well. People said you wasn't going to amount to nothing. People told me in my neighborhood, you all, that I wasn't going to make it to 18. Well, here we are, 46, and we're still doing what we are. First one in my family to achieve a doctor of ministry, a doctorate degree. And so we had to overcome those obstacles. So now, the key to overcoming the closed doors, you all, and the obstacles is mindset. I want you to understand that your mindset has to be tuned, has to be tweaked, has to be retooled. You have to really get into this teaching, you all. Please hear me what I'm saying. You have to fall in love and put emotion to understanding that your mindset is what's keeping you at the levels that you are. Because if you are bold enough to believe it, then you are bold enough to achieve it. Mindset is the key to the door. Now watch. When you add mindset to imagination, or add imagination to mindset, here's how imagination works with your mindset. Your mindset says, I believe I can get through that door. Do you believe you can get through the door and overcome the obstacles in your life? You better believe it. But now watch what imagination does for you. Imagination allows you to envision, to dream of the life that's on the other side of the door. See, you all have to understand what I'm giving you now is the value of this information. I'm not telling you that what I'm saying is more valuable to you than what you believe, because your imagination shows you the expected end, the expected outcome, and that's most important. Mentor told me this years ago. He said that you can pull your future into your present. And I said, how is that possible? I'm thinking about the physical, right? He said it's possible because you have to learn how to dream again. See, when you were a child, you all, watch this. When you were a child, they would give us coloring books and crayons and things of that nature and just say, have at it. We did not have any parameters and paid attention and didn't pay attention to the lines at first. You could draw outside the lines, color outside the lines, color and do any type of abstract picture or creation that you wanted, and you were perfectly fine. It wasn't until we got older, until we start getting boxed in with boundaries and guidelines, you all, that we stopped dreaming and stopped imagining. Well, once again, you all know I'm a pastor, but I'm gonna go here. Jesus could not have walked on water, could not have done all the miracles if he did not have an imagination to see beyond the physical. Your imagination is that important so that you can see what the other side of that door looks like. You can see the life that you want. You can see the 10X finance that you want. You can see the big money and the big business and the big corporations. You can see all of these things if you learn how to master your imagination. And guess what? Once you master your imagination, you all, something happens. Albert Einstein, you know, I like Al, I like quoting Albert. Albert Einstein said this way, he says, imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. Now that quote really stuck with me when I found it, you all, because I had to realize, and through coaching all the hundreds of people and thousands of people that I've helped get to six figures and things, you all, I realized that people with the most knowledge and degrees and things of that nature are really hard to coach and mentor. Why? The reason is because they have a knowledge base, but the knowledge base, if not properly prioritized, it can keep you in the box because you think you already know. And there's nothing wrong with knowing, but understand knowledge is limited. What I'm trying to show you is the benefit and the value of moving your knowledge out the way, move your presuppositions out the way, move what you think you already know out the way just for a little bit. You can go back and pick it up. But now what happens when you add the imagination to the knowledge of your mindset? Y'all catch me now? See, mindset is the key. Changing mindset and changing life. But when you add imagination to it, you remove the limits. Watch. If the sky is the limit to your growth and development, then there are no limits. The sky keeps going and on. The atmosphere, the ionosphere, the stroposphere, the typosphere, all of these things, it just keeps going on and going and going until you get to interplanetary outer space. I want you to think about that. Have you allowed your knowledge to keep you in a job that you feel and sense that you're supposed to be doing more, but because you have responsibilities, you may not have, you're afraid to take the leap to start the business, understanding that you are more competent in this industry, in the field, than many of your leaders or bosses in that particular organization? It is not wrong or bad to say that, ladies and gentlemen. That is what happens when you start to live from the inside out. You start to recognize your value. I did a video that I'll make sure you all have, and I'll post it for you. And those on YouTube, you can go back and watch it. It's called The 7 Levels of Awareness. See, when you get from the first level of awareness to the second, to the third, the fourth level is the individual, right? That's when you start to understand your self-worth and your self-value. What I'm teaching you can give you self-confidence, can give you, more, it can raise your self-esteem because you now understand in this industry or this field that your identity is key. The next thing happens, or the next level, it becomes discipline. Once you give yourself a command or tell yourself to do something and you follow it, you're operating in discipline, you all. So then what happens? The next step is just to take the action. And that's when you get to level 6, that level of experience, and then level 7 of mastery. See, when you master your imagination, you remove all limits and all boundaries, right? You can live local, but think global and begin to maneuver and do business on different continents, you all. Trust me. I'm telling you, there have been people from across the world who have sat in and have taken some of my courses and programs who are now doing way better. And some of them doing better than me, y'all. And they sat in these courses, and that's the value. It's a 10X value, okay? That's how important, that's so important of what it means to put imagination to your mindset. Now, one of the greatest, Muhammad Ali, you can say what you want, y'all. He said, the man who has no imagination has no wings. Think about that. Your imagination can take you far. It reminds me of that commercial of Red Bull. It said, Red Bull gives you wings and you drink Red Bull and you fly away. Well, consider imagination being the last piece, because here's the thing. Some doors have a key entry, and then it also has a code, not a code, a badge, if you will. Think about some elevators when you go into corporate buildings. The key is in there, the elevator is working, but you still need an ID. Hit the ID, then you can go up to the upper floors, okay? Think about the imagination being the same way. Now, I want you to understand something, you all. And we may go over 30 minutes today, just to let you know. If you think about these buildings, from the shortest back in the 1930s to the tallest, the Burj Khalifa, and then the other one in the jet, these buildings and these structures, you all, had to start from somewhere. Many will say the foundation, the blueprints, the plans, and things of that nature. But I want to tell you that they started in someone's imagination. Imagine that. Imagine someone had to imagine these phones we use and how they would make our lives better. Someone had to imagine being able to tell time right on your wrist, being able to talk to your phone with the iPhone. Someone had to imagine this first and then do what needed to be taken, take the proper steps to bring it to fruition. The question is, what are you imagining? What are you building? What goals do you have where you can do some things and change your whole life? That is how powerful imagination is. So now, let me say this, you all, the only thing standing in your way of achieving your dream is your own ability to imagine. If you can't imagine yourself and see yourself in a remote island like this, then you'll never get there. If you can't imagine yourself, if you can't see yourself at the finish line as a victor, as a champion, you'll never get there. And this is why it's so important, you all, as we learned through yesterday, that we have to get emotionally involved with what our dreams are. I'm telling you now, when you start to imagine yourself and get to a certain point in life where you can see your future, you can see yourself, then eventually you'll get there, okay? So now let's go back to the original slide. Imagination added to mindset. Now, once again, you have a conscious mind, a subconscious mind, you have a body, and you have action. Well, in life, you all, when you want to get to these type of goals, you have to have a mindset. Mindset says that I believe. You have to have an imagination that says I can envision and I can see on the other side of that obstacle, other side of that door. But what you also have to add to it is the law of the big mo. The law of the big mo says momentum. Once you have momentum, let me tell you how important momentum is. Momentum is the thing that makes hard things easier because you have momentum. You could be playing a game or basketball, for example. I like watching basketball. You playing basketball and next thing you know, one team gets ready to heat up. They start taking shots that they normally wouldn't take because their confidence is high, their mindset is high. They have seen these shots, they have taken these shots, and next thing you know, they get on fire. That's nothing but momentum. When you get in momentum and start moving toward or moving in the direction of your goal and your vision and your dream, certain things that normally will become an obstacle is not an obstacle anymore. If you got a chasm that you got to clear, if you walking and slow poking around, you won't be able to clear it. But if you got momentum and you see a chasm, you can jump right over that. And I believe that I'm talking to some people today who understand that you're getting ready to go through this door. As a matter of fact, take about 3 seconds right now and say, you know what? I'm going through that door. That's right. Repeat it after me. I'm going through that door. I'm overcoming the obstacles that's stopping me from achieving my dreams. And guess what? If you set your mindset to it and you can see yourself going through that door and you believe it, you're getting ready to go through that door. Now, here's what happens. Success is when those obstacles are overcome and you are now facing the open doors. But I want you all to take a look at this. These doors open as you continue the momentum and continue climbing the steps. If I take you back to the previous slide, notice how many steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if you look at the next slide, you're closer. You're only 3 steps away and that door is opening. Why? Because you overcame the impediments, you overcame the obstacles when you first start. Let me tell you all something. Hard is only the first time. What do I mean by that? Anything you do the first time is going to be hard, but as you continue to do them, they get easy. So this is why we set you up and ask you to write down your goals 21 times. Write them down so you can sear them into your mind and on your consciousness. We ask you to do things through the process of repetition. How do you change your paradigm? Through positive reinforcement of mentorship and through repetition of applying the information, the specialized knowledge that you're going to get. This is how you tear down those obstacles and get that door to open. Now, here's the thing. Success is open. You can see it physically now, but there are some things that you still have to do. Now we find ourselves at this slide once again. You set the goal, but now you have to achieve the goal. And there is a difference between goal achievement and goal setting. Both are skill sets that you're going to want to learn, and I can teach you that. But once again, let's look at the slide. What is your idea now of a world-class life? What's stopping you from achieving whatever that vision is? You got to set your mindset to it and believe you can do it. Get yourself in position so you can start to dream about it and imagine about it. Then you start to work toward it. That's the momentum. You start to work, do certain things a certain way, frequently over a process of time, and you'll get there. That world-class life, you all, we got to achieve the goal that we set. Now, here's the thing. We're going to go back to this slide. I want you to look at this now. And remember, you had a closed door, which was obstacles. You overcome that. You got an open door of success. Once you get to the door of success, then here's what I want you to understand. The goal that you have, you all, and this is very deep, so please pay attention. The goals that you have A-type goals, B-type goals, C-type goals. C-type goal, the A-type goal, the B-type goal. You have goals, you all, or let me say it like this. Each goal has a certain frequency on it. This phone has a frequency that if I pick it up and call someone in Alabama, I can talk to them instantly. I can send an instant text message through this phone because they're set to frequencies. The AM radio in your car has a frequency. FM radio has a frequency. The Sirius radio has a frequency, you all. So I want you to understand is that your goal, that big goal, the goal that you have in life, each one of them has a frequency that you got to get to. Now, watch this. When you understand these frequencies, let's just imagine now that each one of these steps is a certain frequency that you want to get to. And some people would say, you know what? I can just take my time and go up the ladder and do each one. That's fine if that's what you want to do. But there are ways where you can just bypass these steps and go straight to it. We call them quantum leaps, and I can show you how to do it. But here's the thing. Each one of these steps represents a frequency, and you want to climb through these frequencies to get there. Now, because each step has a frequency, I want you to understand that your mindset, where you are right now, has a frequency. We think on frequencies, you all. I want you to pay attention to this. Sometimes when married couples get so in tune, they find each other's frequency. One can say something and the other can finish the statement. You can see something, you can just make a look and they know what you're talking about. They're in tune with one another and it's called frequency. You can also have this frequency because frequencies share a certain amount of energy. You can transfer energy. You can walk up to a person and discern their energy, discern how they're feeling based upon the level of frequency. When people talk and express themselves, they also share what frequency their mindset is on. So for example, once again, Robert Kiyosaki, the cash flow quadrant, you have the, I should have put that slide in here, y'all, but if you have the employee, the self-employed, the business, and the investor. If an investor is trying to communicate with the employee, but the employee is on the employee frequency, he will not 8 times out of 10 understand and be able to grasp what the investor is doing if the investor is talking about billionaire type of deals. Because to the employee mindset, he has to walk up through all these frequencies. He has to go get some training, go get some specialized knowledge. He has to work his way up through the company. You start in the mail room, what's the odds of you getting to becoming a CEO or a C-suite executive? It's not likely unless you take your time to go through these pieces. And that is true. But for the entrepreneur and those who have entrepreneur spirits, you can run through these frequencies very quickly, all right? So now you identified your frequency where your goal is. Notice where you are. Your frequency tends to be, and your mindset tends to be on the level that you are. But once you get trained how to think beyond the level that you are, use your imagination to get past that level, then something amazing happens. So how does this happen? Once again, let me take you to the diagram. You see on the diagram, you have a conscious mind, a thinking mind, 5 senses, see, hear, smell, taste, touch. I have to show you this because, y'all, you're going to see this. But most importantly, through the art of repetition, I need you to sear this in your consciousness, sear this in your mind. All right. So you have a conscious mind that receives information. That is your frequency. Now, remember, your paradigm, which is your subconscious mind, cannot control what it receives. So if you then remember the obstacle, many obstacles are manufactured by you because of your paradigm. That is the thing that's controlling your behavior patterns, your habits. So you can think, you can see, you can go to a conference and get up to that frequency. You get into a frequency right now by being on here watching this with me. You get to the frequency. But when you leave this piece, right, I can motivate you, I can excite you, I can get you riled up. But what happens when you leave the conference? You then go back down to the frequency where you are in most cases. And in those cases, you have people who get frustrated. They're wondering, how come I'm going through this? I'm reading the books, I'm trying to apply, but I can't get past a certain level. That is your paradigm. And your paradigm, which is your pre-programming, needs to be changed. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, I like to give stories, you all, about how it works, because when I changed my paradigm and actually changed my mindset, started to believe it, I started to imagine myself as wealthy. It changed everything, you all, because I wasn't afraid to take the type of risks that it takes and that it requires. I wasn't afraid to begin to do certain things in a certain way over a long period of time. A 90-day blitz, I'll knock it out now. But when I first got started, some stuff I couldn't even focus on for 7 days. I'll tell the truth. 7 days, I was bored. I got bored with it. I wanted to do something else. But now I find myself, and I'm encouraging you to stick with it, even when it's boring. Stick with it, because something is happening. It's a process, you all. So what happens then, right? Thought energy comes in. See what's happening? You're changing your mind. You set these goals. Your mind is at a certain frequency. You begin to read some different books. You begin to change your identity and change some things. And then what happens, you all? Your thoughts become an idea. You read a book, you read something that an author says, you say, I wonder if I could try that. That's an idea, you all. If she did it, maybe I could do it. That's an idea. Those ideas get pressed down to your subconscious mind, to your paradigm. Your paradigm receives it, and the next thing you know, you get excited. If I tell you I'm getting ready to cash app you $10,000, someone is going to get excited, because that $10,000 could be life-changing if they know what to do with it. It could bail them out, help pay off a car, help go toward a child's tuition at school, whatever. But it causes an excitement in it, right? Well, on the flip side of that, toxic thoughts, rejection, fear, anxiety comes in. You receive it, instead of rejecting it, you push it down, and then guess what? You become emotional. You get sad, you get depressed, you begin to isolate yourself, and you give up. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to flip that. We're going to give you this information. We're going to mentor you. We're going to hold you accountable. We're going to give you the tools you need so that you can stay positive. Now, you get back to the positive side, the emotion happens in your paradigm, in your subconscious, then those emotions goes down and starts to vibrate in your body. Energetic people walk fast, they walk with their head up. Self-confident people got a swag about them, right? Then that vibration is expressed through your action. You now go up to the boss, or you go to an interview and say, you know what? Your company gonna be better because I'm here. Well, how so? Because I know what I bring to the table. You will be that confident. And when that happens, once again, your condition changes, your circumstances are gonna change, and your environment changes. What? Condition, your state of mind. Your state of being changes, the circumstances. Hey, guess what? How we're doing business. I have certain value, so I'm going to put a price point on that value so that I understand that the compensation, the law of polarity is working, right? The law of compensation. You get what you put out. If I put out positive energy, I put out confidence that I can do something. If I do a great job, I deserve great pay. And when that happens, your environment changes. You can move to a new area code. You can go get the toys, if you will. You can go get you a boat or some jet skis. You can go get that dream car you want, because you're producing results. And once again, your action causes a reaction, which alters your whole state of being in your process. Then it goes back up as thought energy, right? And then you start the process over again. That's the process of success. Okay, so let's go back. When you are here, your goal is here, you have a frequency. How do you get to these frequencies? How do you get to these goals? How I did it, and how I'm suggesting you do it, number one, you get you a mentor who's already doing what it is you want to do, who can help you. Then you're going to what? You're going to read so that you can educate yourself, because knowledge is power, you all, right? You got to read. You got to do this. Go where you are, go how to get there. You're going to become a goal achiever. You read, then you study. Now, I want you to understand, reading is different from studying. You can read just to say you read. But when you study, you take your time, you dig deep, take deep dives into the material, and then you apply it. So mentor is going to give you something to read, then you're going to read it, but then you're going to study it and to apply it. And then to apply it means you are following the instructions in the material. And when you do that, you'll start to see yourself go up to these higher goals, up to these frequencies. And next thing you know, you're on your way. Okay. Now, watch this. Information. I'm going to do this one more time so you can see it. Get this in your mind, sear it in. Mentor, read, study, instructions. Once that happens, you then make a decision. The first thing you got to do is make a decision that says, you know what? I want that goal so bad that I'm going to get a mentor and I'm going to listen to what that mentor tells me. You made a decision. Then what happens? You follow the instructions. Then you start to read. Then you start to study. And next thing you know, your attitude begins to change because your self-identity and your mindset begins to change, rather. And because your mindset is changing, your attitude is changing. Many people don't know that attitude determines your altitude. A positive attitude can open up doors, even if you are not well equipped to walk through that door. See? So you start to study, you start to do this, you start to go up these frequencies, your attitude change. Next thing you know, you start to believe you got an imagination now. Now you're starting to imagine, you're starting to dream, you're starting to think that I really can do this. Next thing you know, your self-image begins to change, the results happen, and you have achieved that goal, and now you're on that frequency. See, what you all don't realize, what many don't realize, but the value, mentorship is valuable, you all. It changed my life. Changed my life. Once again, we tell stories to encourage you, but as a pastor, when I first started off, I struggled, opened the church 6 weeks, no one would come in. I said, what am I doing wrong? When I began to change my mindset and change what I'm doing, and said, you know what? I need to start teaching. So I went up to a local high school and started mentoring. Went and started with 2 young men and mentored them. Next thing you know, they started going home. True story, guys. They went home and started talking to their parents. Their parents said, where are you getting that information from? We need to go see this man. And next thing you know, the parents start coming to church. They start telling their friends, and we took off. All because I had the ability to listen to the creative idea from God that says, go mentor. Amazing piece, you all, because those parents needed to see value and they knew their sons needed to have value. That's the power of mentorship. So now, I want to ask you a question. I want you to look at this slide. Big goals. Talk about big money. We're going to talk about big goals. And the question is this: does your self-identity tell you to set big goals? If your self-identity is not telling you to set big goals, ladies and gentlemen, then you've got to change your identity, which means you got to change your paradigm, got to change your mindset. Because big goals, you all, turn into stretch goals. Jack Welch once said this: set stretch goals. Don't ever settle for mediocrity. The key to stretch is to reach far more than you think is possible. Don't sell yourself short by thinking that you fail, that you will fail. Now, what's so important about this slide, you all, is because stretch goals does just that. If you set a stretch goal and start working toward that goal will stretch you. And growth happens during that process. But if you settle for mediocrity, if you settle for just the barely doing enough, then that's the lifestyle that you're going to produce and you're going to attract to you. But when you stretch, you all, and reach for things that you don't think is possible, they become possible. But what you don't do is sell yourself short. Now, here's the thing. We have coaching programs that can help stretch you. And one of those programs that we have that we developed, you all, is called the Essential Leap Coaching. And this is for those people who say, you know what, I've been down on myself, or I just need to help my mindset, help me learn these things and get to that point, you all. The Essential Leap Coaching is one of those things that's designed to help you 10x your mindset, to help you strengthen your belief system, to help you develop a philosophy, to help you do all the things that it takes to go to the next level. right? So whether you're on a job or you're in ministry or whatever you are, you're in corporate America, the Essential Leap coaching will help you go through to your piece and start to stand out amongst everyone else. The Essential Leap coaching, you all, is designed to help you literally think your way into success, okay? And all of the things that we have there, it's amazing because it's been changing lives. I've been doing this for over, I've been in leadership for 20 years, you all. And the reality of it is I've been doing these things unconsciously and just didn't know what I was doing. But I've been seeing people go on. I've mentored and coached other pastors to go on and become bishops and grow great ministries, coached and helped people, 10x their income and get to, 10K, because that's the sweet spot for us. We believe if you can get to 10K, then you can get to $100,000, then you can 10x that, right? I'm the guy to show you how to do that. When I first started trading Forex, you all, I would take people and show them how to take $10 and turn it into 100, because it's the same skill set. If you can take $10 and turn it into 100, you can take $100 and turn it into 1,000, and you can take 1,000 and turn it into 10,000. Trust me, I've taught people, been teaching people, hundreds of people, how to do this. And the Essential Leap coaching is for you. And now, here's the thing. We also have another program for the coaches. If you're someone who says, you know what, I think I'm to a point to where I want to fire my boss and I want to go into coaching, but I don't know how. I don't know how to do marketing. I don't know how to put together a program. I don't know how to do these things. Y'all, let me tell you something. I've been in network marketing for years and years, and I've taught people how to build teams, taught people how to coach them. People will call me in and help their teams. And the Essential World-Class Coaching is for those who either want to be a coach or who are already coaching and you want to 10x your income. Now, what does that mean? I'm going to tell you like this. The only reason people are making, say, $3,000 a month is because they don't know how to make $10,000 a month. Those of you making $10,000 a month, the only reason you're not doing $15,000 or $20,000 a month is because you're not aware of how to. Well, I can show you literally through what we've done and how we built out, through the whole structure of it, everything, how to 10x your coaching business and get to that place called there. And we do it through helping you do Essential Leaps as well, okay? And so now with that being said, you all, here's the thing. We're all about 10x. I'm about giving you value. And so I remember one of my coaches said, Favors, do this. I said, okay. He said, when the value is this big and the price is this big, now you're serving your community. Did you all catch that? When the value for you, what you getting is this big, but the price is this big, this small, right? Now I'm serving because your value of what you're getting is far greater. But now here's the problem. What you really want to do is think about, can I afford to not take one of these programs? If your goals is that big, can you afford not to get the type of mentorship where we can help you achieve your goals and so you can become a boss and make boss moves? Seriously, you all, if your answer is, I can't afford to miss it, then you're really going to want to take advantage of these programs, okay? Now, you got some decisions to make, y'all. I'm going to be honest with you and tell you the truth. This is something that we've been doing. This is my way of giving back and my way of helping you all. And so understand that these decisions, as we say, they have to be made quickly. Wealthy people make decisions fast and change them slowly, if at all, okay? So you want to make a decision. Look at what you can gain from it. Bob Proctor once said that change is inevitable, but personal growth is a choice. Well, you have a choice to make today. Do you want to stay where you are, or do you want to find out more about how to 10x, how to really scale your company and scale your business and really make a difference in the lives of you and the people around you? Oprah Winfrey once said that, I think mentors are important. Don't think anybody makes it in the world without some form of mentorship. Nobody makes it alone. Nobody has made it alone. And we are all mentors to people, even when we don't know it. Now, here's the thing, you all. You got to ask yourself, how bad do you want it? Your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow. The good book says, don't put off tomorrow what you should do today. And so the reality is this, guys, if you're ready and you want it bad enough, then all you have to do is make that decision and go forward. Now, here's what I need you to do. Those who are serious and you know you're serious, book a call. I'm going to leave. As a matter of fact, my assistant, she may have already put my calendar down there. Book a call, and you're going to call and you're going to talk to me. Okay? I'm going to talk to you. We're going to assess and see if it's a good fit or we need to do one of the other programs for you. But most importantly, you all, don't wait. Book your call now, because it is very important that you get emotionally involved with what you're going to do. And if you want it bad enough and you're ready for a change, you can sense the change, and you want to get some great value, you want to 10x wherever you are, then I'm here to help you do it. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you all for sharing. I know I went over a little bit, but I'm excited about it. And so if you have any homework, or if you want a homework, make your decision and make it now. Put yourself in a position, and also go back and look at these videos and take advantage of some of the lessons and strategies that I've already shared with you. Apply them. Get those books and read the books, you all. And you never know. One day I look forward to working with you. That being said, it's Mike Favors, you all. We'll see you next time.